Today I'm talking about the pre-1932 kitchen clock set gear problem. These are the first kitchen clocks Telechron made, and they are the 454 Hostess, the AB 454, it's the same clock, model 457, and the 2B01 Priscilla, it's the same clock. The 458, AB 458, and AB 2B02, all three of those are the same clock, different faces, and different GE Telechron stamped on them. So anyway, this is what I'm referring to. These very first generation of kitchen clocks, they have this offset time set knob hanging off the bottom. And by the way, there may be some commercial ones that had this too. I just haven't come across them yet. So but the way this is supposed to work is you pull down and you turn and it moves the hand so you can set the time. And the problem is that typically at this point when we get these, that does not work. And there's sort of two scenarios going on. In one scenario, you can salvage and get it back to the original. In the other scenario, it's just not possible, and I'm going to explain why. So what we got to do is we got to get to this point right here. So take the bezel off by turning the prongs, remove the bezel, remove the lens, take the sweep band off, take the back plate off. Well, you have to do that before you take the bezel off. Then you can withdraw the movement, remove the coil and the rotor, and you're left with this. This is one that I haven't dug into at all yet. Okay, and the next step, once you've got it down to here, is to move these right here. These little clips have to be bent. It's a really horrible system, but that's how they did it. And then you'll be able to take this off, be able to remove the hour hand sleeve, minute hand sleeve, and once you take this off, you'll be able to withdraw the power indicator. And that's going to leave you with this right here. And so the first step to rehabilitate these, get them working again, is to remove the time set gear right here. Okay, our problem is with these two pieces of metal. Pappy on Telechron.net says they're zinc. And I don't know what it is, if they expand over time or if they corrode, I don't know, but these get stuck in place and they don't move. And unfortunately, people trying to set their clocks have pulled down on them and yoinked them and broken the teeth off. So some of them, the teeth will just be broken off and there isn't a whole lot you can do there. This is one I got, which, and I don't know if you can see this in the video, but the teeth have just been completely crushed off of this gear, so it wouldn't turn anything. This one, the gears are good shape. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to be able to get this to turn. And what I found is a lot of times this thing is stuck, right? So to get it unstuck, what I got to do is remove the time set gear on this side first. And I was able to do this with a hobby hammer. Just took the claw side and went around like this. And it's a good idea to look at the depth that the shaft goes into the gear. So when it's being put back together, you can try and approximate that. So after removing the time set gear, what I want to do is I want to remove this piece right here. And to do that, I have to take this time set knob off. By the way, I've encountered two different types. And this one, which has the long stem on it, is regular thread. This one right here, it's reverse threaded. Okay, the one where it only the knob comes off. Okay, so after I've removed the time set knob, the next thing is to take a little pair of pliers, and this tab right here is down. I want to grab that and bend it up. And that will allow me to withdraw this shaft right here. Okay, and I'm talking about, if you look at this one I haven't touched yet, you'll notice that tab is bent down so the shaft stays in there. We need to bend that up in order to withdraw it. And now I'm left with this. And when I started working on this thing was stuck in there. It wouldn't turn at all. We can remove this lever right here. It's pretty simple. We just pull down on the spring and then pull up, and the spring and the lever will come off. So once I have everything at this situation, what I need to do is I need to get this gear out of this brass. So what I did on this one was I just came around to this side and took a hobby hammer and just tapped on it, kept tapping on it until it finally came out. Now, once I have it like this, if I try to put it back in, even if I lubricate it, I found it's not going to turn. So what I did is I took a hobby file and I just went around a little at a time like this, removing material. And I'd stop periodically to check to see if it would fit in there, because I don't want to remove too much material and have the thing wobble around in there. So when I've removed enough material that I could just place it in there and it spins freely, then I'm in good shape. So what's going to happen is I'm going to put this back on, and then I'm going to replace the time set gear on the other side. And now when I pull down, those two gears are going to engage. That's going to turn this right here, which will translate into the time set gear rotating and setting, turning the hour and minute hands, setting the time. So that's the secret there. I've also noticed that this piece right here will sometimes need to be filed so that it will move easily back and forth. So what happens if your clock is one where the gears, the teeth on these gears are just so destroyed that there's not going to be any bringing them back? Well, there is one thing you can do if you want to run the clock and be able to set the time without having to wait for the hour to come around to plug it in. And what I did here on this one, the gears were just so stripped and broken, there was no chance that they could ever mesh again and move anything. So what I did is I removed the long shaft that comes out through the bottom. And what I did, notice this right here, this is from a timer. So I took this right here, at this point right here, and then I drilled and tapped this hole right here. And then I measured the amount of time set shaft that I would need so that it protruded out of the back plate of the clock, threaded it, and stuck it in there. And I used the time set shaft off of a timer, so one end of it was already threaded and had a time set knob on it. So with this clock, it's not like not what I wanted, because I want it to be like the original, have the time set knob hanging down out of it. But I can plug this clock in, and whenever I need to adjust the time, I can just pull it off the wall and turn it around the back and adjust it. So it's sort of a better than nothing kind of situation. So those are the two things that I wanted to talk about. And I'm going to get back to work here on these 454s that I'm working on. And hopefully they'll be just like they were when they were made by the time I'm done.